hope everyone's having a good start to the day. I had an anxiety dream featuring Boris Johnson last night, so I could have had a better start for sure. My name is Jo Francis. I'm the contributing editor at Printweek magazine, for those who don't know me. I've worked in the printing industry for rather a long time, my entire working life as it happens. And even though I am the old lady of Printweek, even I'm not old enough to have lived through anything like a global pandemic before. So it's been quite a ride, is still quite a ride. And I think it's resulting in some powerful trends and learnings and changes in the way people do business, which hopefully means opportunity. As Brendan just said, this famous quote from Winston Churchill has received many outings over the past 18 months or so, and it's not surprising because he is absolutely right. It's the same as the when life gives you lemons thing, I guess. You've got to make the most of whatever situation you find yourself in. This quote was from a printing industry CEO back in the spring of 2020, when it was apparent things were going seriously pear-shaped. I think usually we're all so busy doing all the things that need doing, it can be hard to find the time to take a really good look at the inner workings of a business. So the bosses and owners of firms where work did dry up last spring, and I realise that's not everyone, they certainly had that opportunity. They will know where every last penny in the company was being spent and where every penny of profit was coming from. I think being armed with better information about cash flows, costs, where the money goes, what the most profitable work is, will stand these people in good stead for the future. And in many cases, they also look deeply at whether it meant sense to bring certain services in-house. I think we've written quite a lot of stories about, for example, people adding nifty finishing kit to add to their services, or indeed to outsource something that's not paying its way. And it doesn't make sense as a cost center. It makes more sense to let somebody who's an expert in that particular function do it for you. So the pandemic has been an opportunity to reevaluate and reshape. I read this in an academic journal, and it seems so true to me. I think one of the most used words of the pandemic has been pivot. Lots of companies have pivoted and done something different. And obviously the parent group of today's sponsor, Route One, they provided a very high profile industry example of that when they made their bold move into surgical mask production. It's amazing to me how companies have made big decisions really quickly and acted upon them in a really dynamic fashion. So hopefully that will be a lasting positive in the way people operate in the future. I hope too that we've all become a bit more empathetic about the stresses and strains our colleagues and indeed we ourselves are experiencing. A bit of thoughtfulness and empathy goes a long way. And I think the situation has really brought teams together with a common purpose in getting through to the other side, or whatever that will look like. A 21st century blitz spirit, if you like. I think it's accelerated trends, such as the growth in digital printing, and also seems to have pushed forward the use of technology such as automated workflows. Obviously, with fewer people around in a lot of cases, it made sense to make use of clever software tools and free people up for more valuable tasks. I've put together a few thoughts about some things that we've written about, as I say, that sort of emerge as trends over this period. I think even before the pandemic, the UK was the third biggest e-commerce market in the world, behind China and the US. And as we've all seen, you know, e-commerce has just accelerated wildly, that sales trend over the past 18 months. But I think the e-commerce thing is not just about those big household names that need huge volumes. There's all these artisan makers and small businesses that have embraced the power of direct sales via e-commerce. They're using interesting packaging. They're maybe popping in a little mini booklet about their story, etc. They might use a business card-sized piece of print for a voucher or an offer. I think these customers are often too small to be of interest to the very big groups supplying packaging and whatnot, but there are a lot of them, and it adds up to a lot of packaging, collateral, and sort of brand items. And I think in merchandising, it seems like everyone can have their own merchandise now. It's so accessible. Obviously, if you're Jeremy Clarkson with a very successful TV show, you can sell a lot of people a lot of merchandise. I looked at his diddly squat farm shop, and even if you can't stand the queues, you can still buy online a tractor print tote bag and a matching tea towel for £27.50. So thank you very much. There's definitely some money to be made there. And there's a huge community of makers that are selling everything from art prints to cushion covers, t-shirts, belts, car air fresheners with people's pictures on. I searched on Etsy and there were nearly 4 million results for personalised. Much of it is printed in one way or another. And that's another growing opportunity, I think. The whole print on demand, drop shipping, to be very careful how to say that, to satisfy SME creatives. There's an opportunity there for sure. Also, it seems to me there's a trickle-down effect from the long-run market. Maybe a catalogue that was once a big web offset run is now several shorter runs that could be produced sheet-fed or printed digitally, tactically, or, in the face of uncertainty, printed on demand to reduce waste. And people who've been burned by having their goods stuck behind a great big container ship in the Suez Canal for months are finding, or indeed are finding that shipping containers now 4 times the price they used to be, are de-risking by producing close to home instead. And I might regret trying to say this, but the Amazonification, if you like, of life in general means we've all become used to same day or next day deliveries. And it's the same for some type of print work. A customer who needs something and needs it tomorrow is less likely to quibble about the price. Tactile standout of print, I think it's always worth mentioning this, you know, it's not just RGB. We've got different substrates, shapes, special colors, textures, special finishes, and they all give print that wow factor compared to digital media. And sustainability, obviously a huge topic at the moment, perhaps the overarching issue of our time. And print has a great sustainability story to tell. We should all keep banging on about that. There are so many initiatives at big brands and retailers, we were chatting about this on the table earlier, around using sustainable materials and, of course, supply chain provenance. So this is a huge opportunity for the industry. This is just popping up this here because some recent stories from Printweek, Heat magazine, Grazia magazine, The Guardian's Feast supplement and the Daily Mail's You magazine, they've all recently added shoppable technology, such as either snap the page with your smartphone to buy, or you put recipe items into an online shopping cart via a QR code. I think this sort of technology used to be really clunky, but now it's becoming seamless. It's good news for print, and it's also good news for print in terms of print getting credit where credit's due. So another thing, all of these stories have been written this year. Some astonishing valuations for companies, and I do remember the dot-com boom of 2000, and I know not everything transpires in the way it plays out in the financial pages, but all of these companies, just a reminder, these are high value businesses and they would not be as valuable without the power of print in one way or another. And also I should give an honourable mention to Wilso Books here in the UK with their success on Dragon's Den, a great story. To conclude, I found this image popped up in my timeline the other day. I was absolutely stunned by it. It's an amazing use of obviously fantastic design, different substrates, clever bus wrap. I mean, it's just stop you in your tracks if you saw it, I think. So it really reminded me that print is all around us every day in so many diverse ways. Yes, from the mundane, but really also to the quite magical. And so the power of print is enduring and it's always evolving, and there are always new opportunities. That's it from me. Thank you for your time. I'm easy to find if you want to connect, and I look forward to chatting in the rest of the session. Thank you very much to the IPIA and Route 1.